be a light for you in dark places when all other lights go out.
Hey guys, DCHL Devin here.
DCHL Viking.
And
God damn it.
Welcome to another episode of A Light in the Dark. And so today we have our question and answer portion of our videos.
Love these videos, by the way.
Yes.
Keep asking questions. I love answering them.
All right, Jake loves your questions. He'll probably just answer them all day.
Yes.
Get on the YouTube channel and just start answering questions.
I can do that. I need to make a new YouTube name, though, because no one knows who I am.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we got 5 questions today that we picked out, some interesting ones to get back in the swing of things. And first one is from Ben Erickson. He says, "Hello, DCHL. Thank you for making great content. I've been playing LOTR SBG for about 8 years now with some friends. Recently, I was accepted to graduate school in Washington, D.C., so I plan not only to go to Nova, but also to visit you in the Springfield in the fall. I assume that you guys are located in the Games Workshop in Springfield. I look forward to meeting you all. Quick question. Is there a limit to the size of a warband? Is not the maximum amount of warriors per warband 12 models, not including a hero? I had another question concerning an 800-point list. Since I have never played competitively, I wanted to run this list by you to see what you think. I want a flexible and well-rounded army within Nova rules. Is it problematic that I have no banners within my force? Any suggestions would be appreciated." All right.
Does he have a list?
He does have a list. However, I want to first answer his questions beforehand before we go into his list. We're only going to briefly overview his list for a reason. You'll see why. So the first question is, warbands in... How many people can you have in a warband?
12 people plus general.
Yeah, that's it.
The only one that's really iffy is the King's Champ, since he's one guy and he comes with 2, like banners. That one can only have 10, but it's a max of 12 guys plus the general.
You'll face this in L's with Eladon and Elrohir, because they can only lead 11.
Yep.
Because Eladon counts as one of them. So
Same thing with the Dwarven twins.
Now this matters no matter how big the thing is. You can have 12 mountain trolls in a warband. It doesn't matter.
No.
If you can afford it. So
threw up in my mouth a little bit.
So another question, he says he wanted to know what we think about an 800-point list. Oh, about not having a banner. No.
No. Oh, no, GT.
There's 1 point in the GT. Literally 1 point of all 60 points.
It's the doubles that has a couple.
The doubles does. Okay, so if you're going to the doubles, that does have one scenario that actually does care about a banner. Mm-hmm. After that, though, our GTs never care about banners. We try to keep it to a minimum. The reason why is because not every army has a banner. Also, notice the wording we use in Nova primers.
You can take models that act as banners.
Exactly. So, all it says is that a model that provides a banner bonus. So therefore, Imrahil counts.
Dark Marshal.
Yep. All of them count as banners. We don't care about the whole banner thing. We actually think it's silly.
Yeah.
So yeah, you don't need one in our GTs. Also, not only that, he says, any suggestions about this list? Now, here he is. He has, and I'm only going to go over briefly. We have a list building tutorial, so we're going to let those handle that. But just to go into it, because I think this is important, he has a high elf list with 33 models at 800 points. Okay. Number 1, 33 models is small at 800 points. You only need like 16 models to like die.
Yeah, it's 33.
Yeah, like 17 models to get killed.
Yep.
Now you're playing high elves, so that helps, but still.
You're still squishy. I mean, you're still relatively squishy.
Yeah. Now, beyond that, we have Galadriel, Lady of Light, and he has her leading 6 high elves with shields and 6 Kingsguard. Now, what's wrong with that?
High elves with shields and Kingsguard?
No, it's not even about that. It's
Galadriel. Lady of Light. Yeah, she's
So if you ever... Galadriel can't lead elves. if you're confused about this, then just look in the back of the book for Desolation of Smaug, or in her case, Battle of Five Armies, and it tells what she can lead.
She's a White Council
She can't lead anything, yeah. She literally is stuck by herself. Well, she can lead other White Council members.
Yeah.
So, but then you're talking about an army of heroes. So just note that the list starts off the back illegal.
Yep.
Just by regular rule standards. This has nothing to do with Nova. Then you have Legolas, non-Hobbit version, and he is leading 2 High Elves, High Elf Kingsguard. And what is the problem with that?
Again, Legolas is a White Council member. He can't lead elves.
Here's the thing. He can actually lead elves.
High elves.
He can't lead High Elves.
He can lead Lothlorien.
So you have Kingsguard in here. All right, you have High Elves all over the place in his warband. He can't lead them. He is restricted to leading the warbands that are in his own list, which is Lothlorien.
Yep. Thranduil's Hall's the Book of Five Armies. If you want to look at it.
Now you finally do get Gil-galad.
Good.
Then you kind of go off track again, and you say he's leading 6 Rivendell Knights. You can't lead 6 Rivendell Knights. He has, Elrond has to do it from the Rivendell Knights list. So just keep in mind of that only certain heroes can learn certain things. Now, if you're confused about this and you're like, well, the Nova Comp says that Rivendell Knights and and High Elves,
they can ally.
They can ally.
But you still have to be led by a certain hero.
And I think it does say that, but if it doesn't, they can just ally with each other, but they still have to take the general that they want. So we just felt the Rivendell Knights made sense. They should have the rest of the High Elves in the same list.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go from there. Oh, and by the way, you should definitely come to Nova. We'd welcome you there. You'd actually get the full premier SPG experience at Nova, since we have 7 different game systems and all kinds of players coming from all around the world. It's definitely a great step into the hobby for you.
Yep.
So,
congrats on grad school, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. That's actually a huge milestone.
Hopefully you'll still have time to play Hobbit once you grad school.
Yeah, I'm so glad I'm not in college at this point. I've graduated.
Yeah, it sucks.
He's still going through it. So.
I got like 7 months left.
So next question is from Wah. And if you guys don't know, he is the leader of the West Coast Hobbits.
How is... What?
Yeah, it's
Wah
Jin.
is... I know, but it's an orc thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's just his YouTube name.
I know.
Yeah, so he says...
My OCD kills me.
Great episode, guys. Love the insights and fully agree. North America will take some time before our gaming environment matures.
Yep.
But the flip side is... will it? We have not been acclimatized to tournament-style play and have already made our events more relaxed and open on the North American SBG scene and is focusing on growing our player base. And if our player base only knows and likes the more relaxed style of play we introduced, will this mean that going forwards, it is reasonable assumption that we won't become as tournament-trained as GBHL players? Food for thought. I think this is a very interesting question. Even Nova, if you haven't noticed, we cater the missions and everything about it to be very, very themey.
Yes.
So
even though I make really, really mean lists, I still make them themey. I always love theme and like narrative. I'm all about the story.
Yes.
I think I preached that last time about guards of the Galadrim court fighting in places that's not the Galadrim court. Like,
well, you can't stop stuff like that.
I know, I can't.
But we do a lot of narrative. Even Nova, actually, I think, and I reference Nova a lot because it's the biggest event we have that represents America, right? So basically, even in that, most of it is narratives. And I think the OSBGL, here's where I'll disagree. I think the OSBGL has a lot of tournaments going on.
They do now. They've picked up recently.
Yeah, they've picked up a lot.
Yeah.
So this is the only place where it's kind of changing. But in America, you're right. We do tend to focus on narratives. We don't have a tournament circuit. In fact, right now we're in the middle of a campaign that's just like a D&D style campaign that we're all kind of pitching to.
It's so good. Sorry.
It is very good. It's actually being hosted by one of our leaders of our community. Mm-hmm. And no, he's running
hats off to you, by the way. Great campaign, and the dwarves are kicking assets.
So basically, yes, I would normally agree with you. However, I would think that the OSBGL might throw that around a little bit. And I think that competitive play is important. I will tell you now, the quickest way to boost numbers is competitive tournaments. I know that sounds really weird because a lot of groups can grow without them, but we grew massively as soon as we started introducing tournaments. And I think the OSBGL can attest for the same thing.
Yep.
You think so?
Well, yeah. I mean, the more tournaments you have, I mean, it's gonna grow your populace.
I have noticed people will travel for a tournament.
Yeah.
They will not travel for a narrative.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I mean, honestly, I can throw all kinds of last alliance battles. It won't matter. They will not travel for a tournament as a narrative as much.
Yep.
So it's the unfortunate nature of it. You need tournaments to grow the hobby.
Yeah.
So I think we will eventually get into that tournament scene. We just haven't gotten big enough to do that.
Yeah.
So here, and actually, just as a last quick note, we have players coming from South Carolina, from Boston, from all over the New England colonies area. We have them coming from all over the Midwest. And
California.
if I said that Nova Open was nothing but narratives,
they wouldn't come.
None of them would have showed up.
There's no way someone from California is going to show up.
Hey, we're playing Helm's Deep. They'll be like, all right, cool. Tell us how it went.
Yeah.
So you need the tournaments. It's just how it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So now, if next question is from Tim Hines. He says, I would love to know what people think is the best overall Mordor list for 800 points for all scenarios, and if Sauron or Necromancer would fit into this list.
Okay.
So basically, what do you think of the Sauron or Necromancer?
They are a huge... Well, Necromancer not so much. He's 250 points. He's really good for what he does, and he's not that much more expensive than like an Aragorn model or Azog on the White Ward.
Okay.
Actually, I think he's the same price as Azog on the White Ward.
No, Azog's more expensive.
Oh.
Well, on the White
On the White Ward.
Yeah.
Sauron.
All right, no. You're correct. Yeah, he's the same price.
He's 250. Yeah, it's 50.
Yeah.
So I actually like him. He's good for what he does. He brings a lot of utility. He's really survivable. He's the only one other than the Undying that won't really ever die. Sauron, on the other hand, he's a huge point sink, and he rarely ever gets his points back.
You can rarely win you a scenario.
Yeah.
So other than like high ground.
Well,
no, even then, because you have to have model count.
It depends on where you are. Again, here, he's not really good because you can't might the ring.
Oh, yeah. So in DCHL events, you can't might the ring, but in other worldly events, you might be able to, you might not, depending on the tournament.
Here, if he was able to might the ring, he would literally never die.
So here's the thing, my take on it. Honestly, I think that the Necromancer works very well. Mm-hmm. I think, personally, what I do is I always have a signature list when I use the Necromancer. It's the Necromancer, 2 Ring Raves, Taskmaster. All right, so the Ring Raves bring Sap Will, the courage of heroes that could resist a channeled Chill Soul.
Yep.
Then the Taskmaster allows the Necromancer to cast channeled Chill Soul 50% of the time, getting the might back.
Yep.
And then on top of that, you have Moran and Orcs.
All over the place.
Just fill it. Just fill it with Moran.
As many as you can fit.
Yeah, well, I mean, you already have 4 heroes at that point, so you can pretty much load up. The Ring Raves do not need to be named character Ring Raves. They don't need to be anything like that. Mm-hmm. Just make them like 70-point Ring Raves. A couple more will.
You're using them just to sap will.
Just to get rid of the will that will resist you. And then, you can blast. The Necromancer is a little better at Chill Soul, I think, than Sauron.
Yep.
Only because he can throw more dice into it. And yes, he needs a 5-up, but the thing is, when he throws more dice, he can't be in turn countered by like enemy wizards. Yeah. Sauron, if he throws that much dice into it, then he'll have like no will left.
Yep.
Even though he gets a free one, he'll still have like no will.
Yeah.
So as far as your 800-point Mordor list, we will do that in our list building videos, which we are of course restarting up because we're just getting back into this after making the Nova comp. Mm-hmm. So. We'll give you our thoughts on that in depth very soon. And next question comes from Jeremy Smith. He says, welcome aboard. I liked your video. It was well done and well spoken. Now build me an army worthy of Mordor. I'll be checking out your Dweller in the Dark channel next. Question. What do you feel are the 3 most important aspects of a Nova 2016 GT army? Mobility, speed, a solid hero, general killer, numbers, etc. All right, that's all for now. First Ager Smith signing off. So this is obviously tailored toward a list building.
Yeah.
We're taking this question because we wanted to give our take on a very good question, which is, what are the most important aspects of the Nova GT? So just so you know, your actual question, your other question, which is build an army worthy of Mordor, once again.
We'll do that along with his other. So
what do you think are the most important aspects?
If I had to go top 3,
Yep.
Mobility is number 1.
Yes, easily. The faster you are, I mean, you have to war. Well, to war's not as mobile necessarily.
Not really.
Sabotage is very mobile.
Yep.
Red Arrow is very mobile. To be able to speed across, get your messengers off, speed and destroy theirs.
Yep.
Then you have Siege the City, which is basically domination with a twist.
Yep, the faster you get to theirs, the more you put them on defensive.
Yeah, so you can keep your objectives secured by moving back whenever they're capturing them too much. And then Weapon of the Enemy, once again, mobility.
Yep.
So
yeah, it would be mobility, speed, and then.
But what do you think is the difference between mobility and speed? Because he actually classifies the same thing.
He says
no, mobility slash speed.
Slash speed.
Slash speed.
Okay,
sorry,
the same thing.
He can't see the.
Sorry. All right, so mobility speed is top number 1. To me, numbers have always been big. You have the numbers, you can bog them down while the rest of your army does pretty much whatever you want.
Remember that numbers is interesting in To War and Siege the City because we don't play by model count kills. It goes by number of points worth of kills.
Yep.
However, if your entire army is super cheap, then it's actually really hard to rack up the points. Whereas if the opponent plays like a big hero, then you can bog him down, kill him, and now he's got to kill like 24-year models just to equal it.
Yeah, I played Goblin Town like last Nova, and I played Fell Beasts. He kills one of my Fell Beasts, that's equal to 30.
Yeah, he's got to kill like 30 Goblin Town warriors just to get rid of it. So numbers is actually huge. As far as the Siege the City, you can actually just push them off the objective completely with numbers. Of course, capturing one is hard if you don't push them off. So yeah, I'd say numbers, and then general killing.
I think general killing is a good last one.
Yeah, I would put that last. The only reason, me personally, the messengers you can't kill that way because they have elven cloaks now. You can't seize the city. I don't think gives you anything for generals.
I think there are like 3 scenarios.
Weapon of the Enemy, general killers will help.
Yeah,
a lot
because you'll be able to target. Well, it's not even general killers you can use against their ring bearers.
Well, you can killing the general actually is a points on there.
Oh, okay. Well,
yep, and then killing the jewel bearer is another set of points. So To War would help with that. So yeah, it's still also that. But I would definitely focus on mobility and numbers. If you can't focus on numbers because you're doing something like a Fell Beast list, then that covers the other side. Well, it covers the other side because you have the general killing part.
Exactly.
Keep in mind, though, the less numbers you have, the harder it is for you to win. I should say this. The harder it is if you don't know how to play that army very well.
Yeah.
Rivendell Knights can still do very well in this tournament. Yep. But you make one mistake,
everything falls apart.
Yeah, so... Yeah, the opponent will capitalize if they're a good player.
Especially if they're a monster. I lost one fight, half my dudes are unseated.
But otherwise, I mean, things like Rivendell Knights and Fell Beasts can still do fantastically well. Even though they don't have the numbers part, they have the mobility and the general killing power.
Yep.
So yeah. Any one thing you want to add to that? Or
no, I think we covered everything.
All right, then that's our list. We'll see what they have to say in the list building.
All right.
So next, Sebastian McCormick. Says, for 700-point Easterling, would you include a shade for a non-Nova-esque restriction tournaments? I see it making pike blocks more effective in offsetting the low fight value. There are a lot of points, however, so I'd love to hear your thoughts. Also, Barrow Wights at tournaments. Is it worth having one if you don't have a superhero, i.e. Aragorn, Boromir, Galadriel, Gandalf? So, let's answer the first one. Shade. Shade in an Easterling army.
Yes. To me, I would always include a Shade because they're a horrific nightmare for your enemy. I've played against them all the time, and I despise everything they represent. Especially with a pike block, when you can get 3 dice and you're bannered and they can't roll a 6, it's a nightmare.
The only thing I would say about it is the same worry that you are having is, well, what if, how much does it restrict my numbers? Because as soon as you pick a Shade, you can't pick any Easterlings, right? So you're going to have to pick something else. Most likely Orc Warriors. However, if you want that more power-oriented thing, you can do a couple Trolls, maybe one. But mostly you're going to probably do Orc Warriors. Then you have a bunch of Easterlings. Now your Easterlings, though, when done in pike blocks, are real small regiments. So you'll cover everyone in the Shade's effect, but they can get around you pretty easily. So
you need to have the cataphract behind them to stop them getting to your flanks. I mean,
it's an option. It's certainly an option. Or you can do shield walls rather than phalanxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, just stretch the lines out. And that's an option too. You go a lot of different ways, though I guess you want maximum coverage with your Shade. Is it worth it? I think so. I think a Shade, it's hard to justify not being worth it in most armies, especially when you're talking about a pike block where you can throw more dice than the enemy, and the instant you roll a 6, you win.
Exactly.
So, and you say low fight value, yes. However, if you do the back rank, all black dragons, then they're all 5/4.
Yeah, you're meeting everybody. The only ones you aren't beating are elves.
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, in that case, you are beating elves because you just have to roll a 6.
Yeah, well, with the Shade, I'm saying, if you didn't have the Shade.
Oh, yeah, if you didn't have the Shade, yeah.
But yeah, I can't see a reason to never not take a Shade if you have the option.
Yeah. So, and I think the next part of his question, is it worth having a Barrow Wight at tournaments?
To me, they've always been a gimmick. I mean, they got the paralyzed. Yeah, it might go off, it might not. But to me, it's just a gimmick. I mean, it goes off once and then it's nothing. And then what do you got? You've got a kind of crappy model in combat.
I've seen them work well. They are a nice little utility unit to have around. Would I bring them? I'd either bring 1 or like 6, I feel like. For me, in tournaments, I think I would bring, if I were to play a Barrow Wight, I'd probably bring like 1. It kind of depends. Do you want to do No Might Angmar? If you want to do No Might Angmar, then Barrow Wights, yeah, it can actually be pretty devastating even when spammed up because the opponent won't be able to take that. Now, honestly, what I would say is, if you're going to have a Barrow Wight, have a Ring Wraith to bring their will down.
Yes.
Okay, so have Khamûl. I'm assuming you're still playing the Easterling Force. So have Khamûl, the Easterling.
Or even Betrayer. Betrayer's
with he's not, no, it's just
Khamûl.
He's
Harad, isn't
it?
Yep.
Okay. He's Harad. So have Khamûl, bring down will, and then paralyze the opponent. What that'll allow you to do is to, control like their big heroes that might stomp all over you.
Yeah.
Now, let's say you don't want to have Khamûl. In that case, if you have a single Barrow Wight and you don't have any other way to bring them down, that Barrow Wight will have to get kind of lucky in order to really actually do anything.
Yeah, you definitely need something to bring will down.
Yep.
Because an Aragorn model will literally laugh at you.
Yeah.
While you try and paralyze him.
I mean, you'll paralyze. You probably throw 2 dice at it because you can't really. You can throw 1, but you're wasting turns because the opponent's going to do heroic fights to get to your back lines.
Exactly.
If you're doing pike blinds, you're going to be real small.
Yep.
So even if you weren't, you can still probably manage it with a Cav model that can do some heroic fights. If he doesn't manage that, then Ring Raise will shut down your Barrow Wight very quickly, so you're going to have to cast spells fast. You're never going to paralyze anyone if that thing is on the field anyway, really.
Yeah, if your opponent has two Ring Wraiths, you're never going to get a spell off.
So,
especially if they go first.
And this is what the point of another Ring Wraith is to provide another threat, another problem they have to deal with. But, yeah, I mean, that is, it's a real complicated question because I think they can work well. I have seen them. One guy brought 6 against me. He brought 6 Barrow Wights, and you could tell his mission was to bombard my heroes to death. The only problem with that list is hordes will be a nightmare for you because there's nothing to paralyze.
Yeah, they can't do anything.
So,
how many points are they? They're
50? 50, yeah.
How
So,
many points is a regular Spectre?
oh, 15.
15?
Yeah.
I think I would rather just bring 3 Spectres.
So, I mean, you can bring one. Bring one as a gimmick, but I really wouldn't bring him if you don't have Kamul.
Yeah.
That's personally my opinion. Otherwise, I think you're just going to kind of throw some spells, be like, I hope this works. And then,
Yeah, cross your fingers.
Yeah.
Oh, if it didn't work, all right, prepare for the train.
Yeah. So.
Choo-choo!
But anyway, guys, that is all we're going to cover today. As you guys know, we like to keep things short, little quick videos. And so let us know if you have any more questions in the comment section below. As we said in our previous video, we are done the Nova comp as far as like the actual comp. So hopefully that frees us up on time, especially after we're done battle companies in the next version of that.
Yep.
So, all right. You have anything else?
Hopefully we'll be getting some bat reps out here
You should.
soon.
We have to redo Red Arrow.
We do.
Because it's now obsolete.
We do.
So,
That's true.
but all right, guys. I will talk to you very soon.